Hello and good afternoon, guys. Welcome to MK Convenience Brokerage. My name is Mohammed. In this video, we're going to go over Chapter 2 of the New York State driving license. Chapter 1 was basically information. If you watched my video, we went over what the different types of licenses were: D, DJ, RV, M, Class C, Class A, Class B, B, and so forth. So Chapter 2 is going to be how to keep your license. A lot of times when people drive, they commit a lot of infractions. Either lack of knowledge, they didn't know about it, because they forgot about it for so long, or lack of attention, or just it's a lot of factors, to be honest with you, when you get a summons, unfortunately. I'm here to give you guys some of the insights on what the differences is. You need to know what a suspension is. Suspension means your license or privilege is to drive is taken away for a period of time before it is returned. Basically, it's a temporary temporary termination. Revocation means your license or is canceled. They revoked it. To get a new license, you must reapply to the Department of DMV and for revocation period. I don't know how long they have it for. It depends on what you have done. You may be required to pay a license at reapplication fee again. You might have to do all the stuff over again. So just be careful. Your driving privileges means that the courtesy extended to out-of-state drivers allow them to drive a motor vehicle in New York State, especially when they drive from Jersey to here. That's the driving privileges. If driving privileges, it could be suspended by their state. Just keep that in mind, and we just have to follow what the rules and regulation is for them as well. Special rules for drivers with junior permits and license. Again, if you have a license for DJ or MJ, they are on restrictions as well. When they're driving, it's a little bit different. For example, if they have a permit license, they were suspended for 60 days. Especially if they're convicted for a traffic violation, there could be a different rules or regulations according to the judge what he does as well. So keep that in mind. We have to go through that as well. And if they receive a ticket, there are a lot of times people do get confused what to do when they receive a ticket. I always tell people do not delay. If either is it guilty or not guilty, always apply through it, and we'll go from there later on. It's just something that people don't think of when this stuff is happening. So whatever the restriction is, just make sure you do what's right, and then we'll go from there. Traffic ticket received out of state. Again, the New York State Department of Vehicle does not record convictions out of traffic violations by New York State non-commercial licensed driver in other jurisdiction. That means that if you committed something in Ontario or somewhere else, especially in another country, they're not gonna know. But if you do somewhere over here, there is a chance they might know because they might share information, especially with insurance companies. They're going to know, obviously. Your New York State license will be suspended if you fail to answer the ticket for whatever it is, except for Alaska, California, Michigan, Montana, Oregon, or Wisconsin. Because let's say, for example, what it does is this. I'll tell you from past experience. If let's say you get a ticket in New Jersey, correct? You don't pay the ticket, you think you're good, and you are over here in New York City now. What happened is a lot of people don't understand that. They think that, I don't want to deal with it. Forget about it. You know what? I wasn't right. I was supposed to make a left. The cop pulls me over. He's in the wrong. I don't want to deal with it. What happened is once you come back to your state, the Jersey, when they issue the ticket, creates a Jersey driving license for you. A fake number, basically, on the database. That number, basically, you get a license, basically, without taking a road test. They assign you the license, and you'll have a number for Jersey. Now, you're going to get a notification. You're going to say, you know what? I'm not dealing with it. I don't care. Whatever. I don't care at all. I was not guilty. Or this and that. Whatever you're going to say. Now, you're there. Tickets are coming in. Penalties are coming in. You get a final notice from Jersey saying that your license is suspended. Now, you could drive in New York City, yes. The cop that pulls you over can see your license is suspended. He could issue a summons a summons is called 509 for not having proper license, because now your license is suspended. You technically have a New York license, but your license is not proper because your license is suspended according to New Jersey standard. An officer is able to look it up. Now you're getting tickets from New York City every time you pull over, but they are not able to arrest you, more or less likely, unless they change the rules. Always verify from either the local law department, the local police officer, or you could all verify from your attorney. I'm not an attorney. I'm going based on my experience and based on what we have over here. Now, what happens from there is now you're stuck in a limbo. You don't know what to do. So now you don't know what's going on. So that's where the problem becomes. A lot of times people don't understand that. So keep that in mind. Whenever you get a traffic ticket, especially from out of state, make sure you handle that as well. Don't ignore it, saying that nothing's gonna happen, and then you end up, especially when you drive through New Jersey ever again, you're gonna get arrested automatically because they generated a ticket for you. So keep that in mind. Mandatory suspension and revocation. There's certain things mandatory. For example, your alcohol and drug violation, which we'll go over later in the chapter. You're driving intoxicated with 0.8% of 1% blood alcohol content. You're driving while impaired by alcohol. Again, alcohol and drugs are something that really messes you up. I would really pay attention because they always ask that during in the DMV written test. So I will always look into it as well. Chemical test refusal, especially when you're driving. If an officer pulls you over, you don't want to do a breath test. That also might, especially we'll read this more in chapter 9. You'll see it as well. Zero tolerance test refusal, minimum 1 year revocation. Chemical test refusal, driver under age 21. Second time, minimum revocation until age 21 or over, whichever is longer. So obviously keep in mind. If you're under age 21 when arrested, conviction of any of the alcohol or drug-related violation listed above will result in a minimum 1 year revocation. So 1 year is gone at least, especially if you're under 21. Not only that, your insurance is going to go high. People don't understand that especially when you're driving a vehicle, when you get arrested, especially with charges like that, your insurance company is going to be they don't want you anymore. So those of you that have no choice will give you insurance. They're going to give you very expensive insurance. And you're going to be stuck in the middle because now you have to pay that. I've seen people, because I do work in the insurance field, they're paying $8,000 a year and they have no choice because now the insurance is so high and they what they can do, they can't afford it. But because of one mistake that they were drinking and because of the friends or because of whatever the case, they're coming from a party thinking nothing's going to happen, they got in an accident, somebody got injured, officers came to the scene, saw that this man was intoxicated. Now guess what? He's arrested, and now the insurance company is going to know this man was arrested because his license was also confiscated. And knowing that who he is on the system, now everyone knows about it. So always make sure what the case is. Speeding and other violation. Again, when you're speeding, when you're doing a illegal left turns, passing a school bus violation, other stuff that does go on your record. So keep in mind, make sure you don't get a lot of violation or points. No insurance. Again, if officers pull you over, you don't have no insurance. If you operate, and you could get a summons for that as well. But if you have no insurance at all, then that, as over here, your driving license will be revoked for at least 1 year if you operate or allow another person to operate your uninsured vehicle, or if the DMV receives evidence that you were involved in a traffic crash without being insured. The insurance coverage, you will be, you will be facing your revocation from there, especially when they take your license and say you have no insurance. You're going to be paying a big fine. Indefinite suspension revocation. There is such thing as indefinite suspension revocation. Again, they could do that, but make sure if you have indefinite on your record, I wouldn't drive anymore. The point system, again, this point system the DMV has is up to 12 points. I think they're changing points constantly now. I think they made it 15, but last time I know so far it was up to 12 points, but DMV keeps changing it. Well, we'll see what they have right now for with the cases. These are the point structures for violations. Again, speeding mile not specified 3, speeding miles over certain post limits, as you can see, reckless driving, passing a stopped school bus, inadequate brakes, following too closely, use of mobile telephone or portable electronics. That's 5 points right here. That's the big one. Improper passing, vehicle involving a crash, all this stuff. Make sure you pay attention, especially with speeding and especially with these 3. I would concentrate on reckless driving, passing a stopped school bus, and an electronic, because these are heavy, and railroad crossing violation. That's 5. These things could really hit you. So keep that in mind. The points charged against your record area from the date you committed the violation, not the date you were convicted. If you get 11 or more points within 18 months period, you will be notified by mail that your driving license will be suspended. You can request a hearing to show that conviction. So what I tell some of my students is simple, because if you are getting points on your license, you could always delay that. So let's say, for example, you were driving 50 miles per hour, and the New York State trooper just pull you over. Now they're gonna give you a summons. You could delay the court, hire a lawyer, hire an attorney, because it's 11 points. You could delay it as much as possible, and especially, you know, like, you don't want to get the 11 points and get the DMV until you're proven guilty. They cannot do it. So if you're getting points, you could always go back and make sure that they end up, you know, fix what they have to be done. So this way you won't have an issue. So keep that in mind. Traffic crashes. At the time when required by law to let the traffic crashes is a little bit different now, because it depends. If you are involved in an accident, you don't have to, especially there's only, like, you know, no injuries involved, you could just exchange information now. So that's how it is. But this is just telling you that if the crash is normal, whatever it is, and if you know, end up somebody getting killed, whatever it is, DMV can suspend or you know, revoke your license depending on what they have. If you, in most cases, your driving license has been suspended for an exact period, like 30 days, or it could be 90 days. Your license will be returned from you if you pay a $50 suspension termination fee. So keep that in mind. But there's different penalties for different violations. So you know, we have to make sure what that type of rule is, so we go from there. Driver responsibility assessment, again, you know, in addition to any fines, penalties, and surcharges authorized by law, you may have to pay a driver responsibility assessment for some violation that result of conviction or administration finding. Your learner's permit, driving license, or driving privileges will be suspended if you do not make these payments. Again, driver responsibility assessments are for those, like, you know, like if you're convicted for aggravated driving, intoxicated DUI, and all that stuff, they might make you do that as well. So we will have to see what it is. Driving while suspended or revoked. Again, if you're driving while you're suspended or revoked, you're gonna get arrested again, and you might get a fine for $250 to $5,000, depending on what the judge puts it in. So we have to make sure what type of you know, stuff it is, and we go from there. Let's finish up with chapter 2 for now. It's a lot of information. I know it's a process. We'll try to go over one chapter at a time. I was gonna try to cram you know, more chapters in it, but I feel like it's gonna be too much. You know, it's a lot of information that I'm giving you. So we'll go over chapter by chapter by each video. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any other questions, comment, concern, please comment, like, subscribe. I'll try my best as much as possible to clarify any confusion you guys have. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it.